And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 98 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we will turn into real beers
Yes.
and happily drink them.
Yep. And then I will turn them into pee-pee.
Nice filter situation there.
Yes, yeah. And don't forget to visit hansonsonhiatus.com. We got the merch store, and you put up a ton of new merchandise.
Ton of new merch. I was having a creative couple weeks, I guess. New fucky stuff. We got kitty stuff. All the kitty, shout outs or whatever. Appreciate them. New puppy stuff, Mexico stuff, all sorts of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're on TeePublic, which is the site that we use for the merch, if there's a design you like and you want it in something else, it's not just t-shirts. So we got mugs, we got tank tops,
pillows,
phone
tote
cases,
bags.
Everything. Depending on what you're on, it's very easy on your computer. I think on the laptop, maybe sometimes people have a hard time seeing the different types of merchandise. So if you're on a design, if you go to the bottom, it'll show like the other categories like home decor or, whatever, apparel, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, there's different things.
Yeah. And also on hansonsonhiatus.com, you can find the links to the podcast on YouTube and Spotify. I mean, those are the main ones that we do the video casts on. But you can also become a monthly fucky supporter, and we are now on Patreon. So you can be a little fucky for $1 a month. You can be a medium fucky for $5 a month, or you can be a big old fucky for $10 a month.
Love it.
Yes.
Love the fuckies.
Yeah. And if you listen to the episode last week, we had a new fucky that was Spandex Thor.
Yes.
And I have now figured out who Spandex Thor is. He sent me a message on Instagram. So, listener from Atlanta. So thank you very much for being a medium fucky.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spandex Thor.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much. And that was so nice you reached out.
It's Mr. Thor to you.
Mr. Thor. Mr. Spandex Thor.
And also like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We be there.
We be there. We be everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is the last, I mean, it's not the last episode, but the last episode before I go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And what a great timing. We're almost to 100 episodes.
Yeah. So episode 98. So I leave on Monday. So we're going to record episode for next Friday ahead of time, but that will be basically covering this week and this weekend. And then the 100th episode, just so happens, will be the one that I will be in New Orleans.
Yep.
So that's going to be like kind of our, not best of, it's going to be stories you've never heard. It'll be like the lost tapes kind of things, just stories that we kind of put on the back burner. We're like, oh, we'll get to that later, when we, if we ran out of time on one episode or something. So,
Exactly.
So it'll all be all new stories for the next few weeks. But I won't be talking about the Super Bowl, obviously, because I will not be there.
Well, and you can't. It's very hush-hush.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Very secret.
Well, yeah, sorry. I will not be here. I will be there, but I won't be here to record it and talk about it.
You'll be there.
And also I can't because of the NDA. So,
Yeah.
But once, so I guess it would be episode 101 is where I will be talking about all the stuff that's happened at the practices and the behind the scenes stuff. And, the artist is Kendrick Lamar. I'm assuming he's going to have some special guests like last year, with Usher. I don't know. Like I know Kendrick Lamar because I'm, a fan of hip hop and everything. Yeah. I don't know if he's as well known like in other genres of music. So I'm assuming that he's going to have some other people come out and, make it a big to do.
I would assume so. And that's like always the fun thing at the Super Bowl. Like, oh, who's going to pop out? I think there was 1 or 2 years that it was just the one artist and no one else came out. But typically it's,
Yeah. Well, I mean, really the last few years, there hasn't been anybody significant. I mean, there was nobody with Rihanna in Phoenix.
She didn't need anybody.
Yeah, she didn't. The year before was in California, and it was like all the 90s, 2000 hip hop guys. I don't think anybody was really surprised other than just 50 Cent doing a little cameo, but we all knew Snoop and Dre and Eminem and Mary J. Blige and all of them were going to be there. But I think that used to be a thing maybe, I can't say how many years, 10 years ago or something maybe,
Yeah.
but recently it has not. And so everybody's always expecting that who's going to come out with them. I remember when we were doing the radio show in Atlanta, we'd always talk as a show, who's going to pop out. And it really, there weren't a lot of, surprise guests or anything like that.
Maybe that's more like our age group, because I still think someone else is going to pop out, and that's why I look forward to it. There's going to be some random celebrity musical act that's going to show up, but sometimes
well, and it's probably harder. It gets harder to coordinate with a bunch of artists that are big deal, because they have to be I mean, we rehearse with them for days, and they all have to be there. So so it's probably hard when you do a bunch of surprise guests to have them be there in New Orleans for a week ahead of the Super Bowl, because they're probably touring and doing different celebrity stuff that we don't know what they're doing.
Right. That's a lot. That's something too. A lot of our friends didn't realize. You leave 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. You're out there a week and a half, 2 weeks before the actual Super Bowl, because you have to practice so much. And I know we talked about it last year, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's not like we just get together. And I've always wondered that when I was watching the Super Bowl. I was like, how do they do that? Because I think about the same thing with award shows. Like when artists are like doing performances, I'm like, do they just show up and just kind of like run through? No, they're there for like days ahead of time practicing, and they've already been doing it on their own. Like when we were practicing with Rihanna for the first couple days of the 2 weeks, she was choreographer was standing in for her, just to have the moves and everything. But she was like off site, weeks ahead of time practicing her dance, or, her placement and her dance moves and everything like that. So, they definitely practice far in advance. So I'm excited to see who's going to be popping up and whatever. But I mean, the Super Bowl is on the 9th of February, and I leave the 27th, I believe. So, I'm there quite a bit in advance.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, and so one of the things that I've been so normally these people that we do the halftime show with, we come back every year, and so we get together. I mean, there's a couple hundred people doing this, but this group of friends that I have that I've made from past Super Bowls, we get together and we do we get like an Airbnb, and we all split it. Like last year I got an apartment in Vegas, and like 4 of us split that. Year before, actually I stayed with a friend from high school. But we all stay in different places. This year, New Orleans is fucking expensive. It's like it can be like $2,000 for a one room in somebody's house in an Airbnb. So it's really pricey in New Orleans for some reason. I thought Vegas or Phoenix would be expensive, but so the cheapest way for me to do it this year was to stay in a hostel. And there's a hostel like a 10-minute walk from the stadium, which is also great because it saves me money on having to rent a car for, a week and a half, 2 weeks. And, just those extra expensive of having transportation or taking a bus or an Uber or whatever. So even though I won't have the privacy that I would normally have because I'm staying in a hostel, it's like basically bunk beds in this room. But we have like kind of a kitchen area. It has, a full-size stove and microwave and everything. They got a refrigerator, showers. There's kind of like a hangout area, foosball table and stuff. So I'm assuming I'll make some friends, whether they're going to the Super Bowl or just travelers coming through. But
that's what I wonder, if you're going to have Super Bowl buddies there. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like there's one girl that I was in our group that roomed with us last year. She's going to be at the hostel for a couple nights, but not for the entire time.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So, but the thing that I'm kind of, which is a little embarrassing, but the thing I'm most worried about is just sleeping in a room with 10 people.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't know how, I've stayed in hostels in Europe, but I don't know how it is in the US because we're a little sloppy sometimes.
Yeah.
But are 10 people going to be coming in and out of this room, like opening the door, shutting the door, going to the bathroom, getting up the bunk bed, going down the bunk bed? Like, is it just going to be a revolving door of people all night? And also, if I've had one of our days off, I have some beers and some po' boys, some shrimp po' boys, I might let one rip, in my sleep. Just like let it go on accident.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, when you get upset, maybe if I have a little
too much to drink or something.
little bubbly tummy, I'm just saying.
I don't think you're gonna be that bad. I'm worried about the other dudes in there.
Yeah, true. Well, and yeah, that's the other thing. I got to worry about these dude farts because I mean, if they're just like I said, munching down some po' boys,
Yeah.
that's gonna give you a little gas. So
I don't know if I'd be able to sleep in a room with just 10 strangers. I'm sure it's fine and everyone's probably laughing. It's not a big deal, but I would be up all night like, oh God, what was that noise? Who is that? Where are you coming from? Or I don't know.
I guess it depends on where my bunk bed is like situated at. You know, like if it's in a good, I don't want to be on the top bunk because then I got to get down and, you know, they're probably creaky. So I'm going to be going,
Yeah.
got to go to the bathroom, you know, take a pee in the middle of the night or something. But then other people coming in. But yeah, if I got a good like spot in the bottom bunk in the corner where I can see everybody, I think it'll be good. But other than that, I don't care. I'm sure I'll meet some fun people, especially closer to the Super Bowl it gets. But that's what I'm worried about is like, what if I'm like, you know, had a couple beers and I'm sleeping and I'm just like, and then I'm Fart Boy Nate, and everybody's calling me names, and I don't even know about it. Like a little embarrassing. Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. So we will see how it goes. It's supposed to be cold, I guess. I mean, it's as of now, as of us recording this, it's like fucking 30 degrees in New Orleans right now. So I don't know. But speaking of beer, this past week for my beer chug, I did the peanut butter pickle beer from Barntown Brewing. And I gotta say, like, you know, I talk about it in my beer chug, but I only got 60 seconds in the chug. So I was like, I gotta talk about it a little bit more, but it was actually pretty good. Like the peanut butter, with the pickle paired. I was very shocked at that. So, I guess this is like a pregnant woman, like craving kind of like the banana fluffernutter, like peanut butter sandwich, you know, like peanut butter, marshmallows, and, bananas. I don't know. It's like a weird combination. But yeah, this pickle peanut butter beer was actually pretty good. You tried it, right?
It was good. I didn't get the peanut butter so much, but the pickle was really good.
Really? See, yeah. I got the peanut butter like smelling it. Yeah. It smelled real good. And then first I could smell the pickle juice and then the peanut butter, and then drinking it, the pickle juice wasn't as tart or tangy, I guess, as like other pickle beers I've had. So maybe the peanut butter brought it down a little bit, but it was still real good. So yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah,
different weird. You're known for the weird beers.
Yeah, I like to try a new weird beer. Like I said, I'm not drinking 10 of them or something. It's just cool to see what flavors that they can get into a beer, you know, and see what pops and what doesn't and everything like that. So check it out if you're ever in Iowa. It's really irky if you can get a beer that's peanut butter and pickles because it goes together. It actually pairs.
I definitely love a pickle beer. I don't know about the peanut butter pickle.
Let's see what else we got. This past weekend, my parents are in town right now, as we've talked about. So what did we do? Friday, we just took them to the beach.
Yeah, we did a little cut out of work early beach day, which was really nice. It was actually busy for a Friday.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. But it was funny. We were sitting there, and there was all these birds surrounding, you know, the fishing boats and everything. Yeah. And then we see this line of people like lined up, and I'm like, oh, what's going on over there? Like somebody drowned or something? It's like, no, they're just cleaning one of the fish. But there was a line of like 30 people.
Oh yeah,
and I just thought that was weird. And you had brought up, they were like, well, you know, not everybody gets to see people do this every day. I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't live by the beach, you're not seeing fishermen slice open giant shiny fish, throwing guts in the air for all these birds to swoop down. They were like the big old pelicans, you know, with the big bills, and then I don't know what those pterodactyl birds are called.
Were they egrets or something?
Frigates. Friggin' bird.
Yeah, these friggin' birds.
But we were amazed, like, oh my God, these birds are gonna poop giant poops on me.
Yeah. Happy Friday, frigates. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Like in that regard, I was thinking more of like, well, you know, I grew up in Iowa. I saw people clean fish all the time. You go fishing in the lakes and the ponds and everything, and
I grew up in Pittsburgh. Fries. I don't really remember seeing. I mean, people did fish, but I don't remember seeing that. So I think it's a delight.
Your family wasn't really. Well, some of your family's outdoors. Oh, yeah. Most of the rest of your family's outdoorsy. Yeah. But like your parents aren't like going fishing on the weekend or doing boating trips. And
my mom's side of the family is more like her sister, camping, fishing, hunting, doing all these things. And then my dad's side of the family is like, no.
Yeah.
we'll be at the beach suntanning.
We're good. But it's funny because my dad wore his shoes there to the beach.
Yeah.
And nothing against him. I'm just saying there's a good amount of people that we've brought to the beach. Some of our Canadian friends,
Yeah.
and they'll wear their like tennis shoes with socks there,
Like running
and then
shoes,
have
yeah.
to like switch out. Like, why not just wear sandals?
I can appreciate some people need to wear tennis shoes if we're going to walk for a little bit. They're not sure where we're walking to. So if it's going to be a little bit of a distance, I can see if you need your running shoes to walk comfortably. But then when you get to the beach, like, chuck those shoes out of here and get some sandals on, or no shoes, or both. I don't know. I would never wear my tennis shoes to the beach.
No.
Even when we run down to the beach and kind of look at it, I'm like, please don't get sand in my shoes.
Yeah. That's what I don't want. I don't want sand anywhere near my tennis shoes.
Right?
And that's why you wear sandals or flip flops, because the sand can come out of it, or you can wash them off easily.
Exactly.
Like, why? I don't understand. Like, it's not like we walked 10 miles to the beach.
Well,
So
your dad, he wore tennis shoes, then he brought water shoes, which he wore in the water, but then no sandals. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know why.
We'll get him.
You
We'll hook
want
him
to?
up.
I don't know why you want to switch shoes at the beach. I just feel like it's a
Yeah.
lot.
I know when if we go to Cozumel, I will wear my sandals, my walking sandals there, and then I'll bring my water sandals with me, and I can trade those out because I don't want to wear them all day. But tennis shoes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Eh.
Oh, but
Each
yeah,
to
so
their.
that was our Friday, nice little relaxing Friday, because on Saturday we had friends coming in town on a cruise to Cozumel, and our friends Keith and Jessica we know them from Orlando from college, but they live in Austin now, and so they were taking a cruise, and I think it's crazy how there's a lot of cruises, and I get like on the boat is kind of part of the vacation as well.
Oh, yeah.
But it's interesting that there's a lot of cruises that just go somewhere and they go there for not even the whole day. You know, like they got in at 8:30 in the morning, had to leave by 5:30 at night, and then they head back. And that's the one cruise that I've been on. We went to the Bahamas or something. Same deal. It was just you're there for like 6-8 hours and then turn it around and book it back home.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. I think if you're booking a cruise, that's like you're saying, that's your main vacation. All the shows and the food and the booze and all the pools and slides.
Like the travel there is still part of the vacation, because you can do. Yeah, I saw them. They were in the. I was tracking them on my cruise tracker app.
Yeah,
and they're like in the middle of the ocean and or in the Gulf of Mexico, and then I see one of their Instagram stories, and they were like ice skating. I'm like, damn. Fucking ice skating in the middle of the ocean. That's something I have never done.
I've never done that either. I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah. But so we went over. This was a long day, so we went over early, and I think we got there about 9.
Yeah.
And we rented a minivan so we could drive everybody around the island.
Because they had their 2 little girls.
Yeah.
with them.
They had their 2 daughters with them. So we got the minivan and we took them around the island. We did a little bit of swimming, a little bit of snorkeling.
A little bit of munching, a little bit of drinking.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yeah,
And you're used to driving the minivan around now.
Yep.
After my birthday.
Yeah. And it's funny because the kids actually, I mean, how old were they? Like 13 and 10?
10 and a half and 8.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew one was 10.
Other way.
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought they were older too because they were delightful girls. They were really smart and adventurous at the same time. We were talking to them like they were our friends.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was great.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up, because at one point, one of them asked you, and they're like, so when are you having children?
Oh, yeah. I went, well, I think because they thought we were so cool, they're like, you should really have kids.
Yeah.
They'd be cool too.
Exactly.
I was like,
That's it.
we don't know. We're too young. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
Too young?
We should have made up a story like, well, ever since we killed the last 2.
Oh, God. I don't want to give them nightmares.
Who knew that they had to breathe?
We do have kids. They're at home in the closet.
You got to feed these things?
Oh, my gosh.
But no, they were super sweet. We had a really good time with them. We went snorkeling, and there was this one spot, and I finally got a video of it, and I think I posted on my Instagram stories, because off of the coast of this bar we go to where we snorkel, I swim out, and there's that, I think maybe we've mentioned it before, there's this cenote vent that, like, where the cenote is going underneath, like under the ground, obviously, and then coming out through the reef.
Yeah.
And it's releasing fresh water, so the water looks like a little hazy because it's the fresh water and salt water mixing together.
Really weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, and their fish are always all around it, because I'm guessing it's, I don't know, either warm or cold or something. But yeah, there's
minerals.
Yeah, or maybe there's something else coming out of like some moss or something that the fish eat or who knows. But so I finally got some video of that because I got this new thing for my camera so I can take, or my phone so I can take videos underwater with it. Not those little cheapy ones that you hang on your chest.
Don't work very good.
Nah, they don't, because it's hard to like press the buttons and stuff and record. And
I know they like push and lock, but I just don't trust him. I really don't trust him.
And this the car rental place that we got the minivan from, we're like in good with them. Like we've been renting from them for like 5 years. So they always know us. Like last time we brought the car back and it was just a hair underneath where the gas was supposed to be,
just a smidge.
And they were trying to charge us $25. And then like the owner came in, he's like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it."
He was like, "Nathaniel, no."
Yeah. So but I still do the same thing like I would do any place. Take the pictures around the car. And pro tip for anybody traveling, and maybe people already know this, but the most important parts of the car, obviously, if there's little dents or dings or whatever, take pictures of those. But the most important parts of the car to take photos of are the tires, the side view mirrors, and the front, like the front of the car and like underneath the bumper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, for some reason, the tires, the rims can be really expensive if you get a nick or a ding in it.
Like
so I've seen like some insurances that are like this, like the basic insurance doesn't cover the tire or the rims and then the side view mirrors. The side view mirrors also because they get hit a lot, you know, like somebody can, be driving by and nick it or ding it, and then that plastic cracks really easily. So make sure you take photos of those pieces or parts of the car, because if something happens, then you want to make sure you have that, because a lot of times people don't look at those things, and if you don't, if you're only taking photos of the things that are wrong with it, if there's nothing wrong with the side view mirror, then you don't take a picture of it. You can't prove that something happened to it while people were driving by or whatever. Right. But then also in the front, like I was saying, take a picture of the front, but like from below. So get the whole front so you can see the like the front bumper, because a lot of times people will drive up and the little cement median kind of things at a parking spot, it'll crack it under there, and maybe when they dropped off the last car they didn't look at it, and then they think you did it because they didn't have that marked down. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I took photos just like normal, and these guys are always cool with me, but the guy that like checked me in, I didn't really know that well, and while I was walking around taking photos and everything, he walked around too, but he didn't mark anything. Yeah. And he was like, "Todo bien? He's all good?" And I was like, yeah, looks good. I mean, like, as in, I took photos. Yeah. And, picture of the gas and everything. Then when we brought it back, he gets on his phone and I hear him talking to like the front office or whatever. And he comes over to me and goes, "Hey, did you happen to take any like before pictures or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, like what's going on?" And he shows me in the front, the bumper, there was this one spot underneath that was like kind of cracked or had a couple different cracks in it. And luckily in the photo that I took, just in the very like bottom left-hand corner, I almost cut it out because I almost didn't get the whole car in there. And you could see it in there. So he's like, he's like, Hector's knew that it, was going on about it or whatever. But it's like, thank God that I took that photo, because who knows what they would have tried to charge me.
I saw him talking to you. I didn't know and he showed the paper like it's clean. I'm like, well, oh man, what do we do now?
Yeah. So I was worried about that. But so make sure you take a picture of those spots at least when you're doing a rental car.
Rental cars are so nerve-wracking to me because there's so much that could go wrong. So like so much he said, she said. How do other people not like, just from our Airbnb experience, we're very clean and we clean up and make sure everything's how we left it. But I don't know how people leave rental cars. It's probably a disaster.
Yeah, I don't either.
Makes me nervous.
Yeah, especially with, there's a lot of opportunity for nothing that you did wrong. Right. Like somebody else could hit you or something, And then
what if someone hit my mirror? What happens?
And even if you have the insurance, then you have to go through that whole process and everything. It's like, it's so annoying.
No thanks.
But yeah, it was good. Yeah, we had a great day with the friends. And then you and I went to, first we went to Cerveceria Kusam Brewing in Cozumel.
Yes.
And
Love that place.
Our buddy Sergio, he did a salted caramel peanut butter stout.
Duh. delicious.
It was fucking boozy too.
It was boozy.
Yeah.
we were already a little woo.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really. What'd you have? You had some kind of
I
like
had
a fruit one.
It
right?
was like a fruited ale, pineapple, grapefruit. I feel like there was one more thing. Pineapple and grapefruit, maybe. Just a fruited ale. It was very nice, very delightful.
Yeah. So yeah, good beers there.
Yeah.
After that, then we went and got a carajillo, got a little coffee drink.
Sometimes we need a little boost to get back on the ferry to walk home.
Yeah.
So you need a little boost of energy.
So we got I did that, got back to the mainland,
Yep.
went back home, and my parents were ready to do something, and I
Yeah.
think you're ready to not.
I was done. I was like, I need water. I need a shower. I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, so I went to CMC with the beer bar over by our house.
Yep.
We had some good like high ABV stouts, and I'm like, damn, we've been drinking since like 11 a.m. or something. But I mean, swimming and stuff and eating the whole time too. So it wasn't like we were like shit faced.
Pretty much light beers all throughout the day.
But I brought one of those Navideña beers that I had got during Christmas to share with the guys, and then with my parents, and that's like 9%. Then we got another one one of them that Oscar shared with us. Oh. And God, I think that was like 9 or 10%.
Oh,
so
goodness.
Me and my parents were feeling pretty good at the time. Then we went and got ice cream, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I went to bed. I thought you guys would just go over. You're like, we're just gonna go have one, and then you came back and ran in and got some beers and dropped off your like Cozumel stuff, and then you ran back out, and I was like, I don't know where these people are. I'm going to bed.
Fuck 'em.
It was like 11. I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. So, but it was a good day, good weekend.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
Cozumel makes me tired now. I used to be able to keep going, but a whole day there, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, and we went earlier than we normally do.
True. Lots of walking, lots of talking, eating and drinking.
Yeah. But as usual, if anybody is coming down on a cruise or coming to Playa del Carmen or looking to come here and want a place to stay, going to Tulum, let us know. Alexis manages a bunch of Airbnbs in Tulum and a couple here in Playa. And if we are available, we would love to come over and show you around the island if you're here on a cruise or something, just depending on where our schedule's like and everything.
Oh,
so.
For sure. We do it anyway.
Yeah.
We're good at it.
Yeah. So this week, I saw a car I'd never seen here before.
Oh, do tell.
It was a Tesla Cybertruck.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
In our area of Mexico.
Right on the corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I know. Yeah. I always wonder. So, I mean, it's electric, right? So you need a charging port. I know there's one charging port kind of by us. Maybe that's why I was over here.
Oh.
But
is there? Where is it?
At what's Ipana.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But other than that, like, I feel like that would be a hard vehicle to have here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go very far if, like, I mean, going up the highway. I mean, there might be some in Cancun or something, but you can't really go on a lot of road trips.
I would be nervous. I wouldn't want to risk it because I'm that app that you have that shows where all the charging stations are all over the world. I don't know how many are here, but I doubt there's a lot.
And it's like silver. So in the Mexican heat, does it get like fucking scalding hot? Like you cooking an egg on it?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks very shiny.
Yeah,
I'm sure it gets really hot.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know. We don't need the Tesla Cybertruck here because we already have the Tesla Torta Truck. Yeah, it's the Mexican Tesla.
It does look like, oh my gosh, that's so great.
Oh shoot, oh man. But I do have an issue.
Oh,
not with the Tesla truck.
Oh, okay.
This is
like,
with.
Did you buy one?
The grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of nervous because I went to the grocery store and I got a couple things. I think it was for lunch for us for like Sunday afternoon lunch. And we're just like looking to do something. So I went and got a couple things and I go to check out and we go through the self-checkout.
Yeah.
And you scan everything, and then go to checkout, pay with card. I put my card in and then usually that takes like a second, while it's processing the card on the little machine. So while that's going on, I'm putting the groceries in my bag. So I'm bagging my groceries. And I'm finished grabbing my groceries and the thing's beeping saying like, return your card. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed my card out and then it had I don't know what happened. Like if my bag hit something on the screen or something, but it had a message and then it said, go back. And so I clicked go back and it's like, and then it said, pay. And I was like, well, I just paid and it just told me to take the card out and my receipt's right here. So
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe something's messed up.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my groceries, grabbed the receipt, grabbed my card out of the machine that was telling me to return it. And I'm walking out and I walk down the street and I'm, almost home and I'm looking at my receipt and it only has 2 items on it.
Oh.
And my total was like around, it was like 459 pesos. So it was like $20 basically.
Yeah.
And this thing only had 2 items. I'm like, what the
Uh-oh.
fuck? So I go and I look on the on my app,
Mhm.
and it said I was charged for $22, and then the next thing says I was refunded $22.
Oh.
And I'm like, fuck. Like,
Surprise.
yeah, it was like, but now I'm like worried because I don't want them to think I stole the groceries or whatever.
Oh, no.
So I get on my American Express app and I'm messaging with them.
Yeah.
And who the fuck's calling me right now? And I'm
How dare
messaging
you
with
call
them,
me
and I said, hey, is there any way you can just cancel the refund? Like, I don't know if like my bag hit something to go back to the payment method,
Yeah.
but it already had like processed my
Processed.
credit card and said return the card.
And obviously it processed because it has your, the amount.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm messaging with them and I'm like, is there any way you can just return or like cancel the refund and just keep the original? And she goes, oh no, we can't do that.
Oh.
Like, you'd have to talk to the merchant to do that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that? If I dispute a charge, you can take the fucking money back from them.
Yeah.
So how can you not stop a refund coming
Yeah.
to me? Like, I'm the person getting the refund. I'm trying to be honest and being like, hey, I want to make sure the grocery store gets their money.
Yeah. You already authorized for them to take the $22. You're saying stop the authorization to refund it.
Yeah.
to
Like,
me.
why would they be upset? Why would anybody be? Why would that not even be a thing you can do?
Can't do it. Too
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. So
Makes
they're
too
like,
much
you have to
sense.
talk to the vendor. And I'm like, well, what am I going to talk to them or the merchant? What am I going to talk to them about? Hey, yesterday I had this
Oh.
like try to explain them the whole thing, that happened or whatever. And hey, can you charge this amount back to, like, they won't be able to do that. I'd probably have to go and scan everything again. And I've already
Yeah.
used some of the food and stuff. So
Because at our grocery store too, they even have trouble with like stuff on sale, like sale
Oh, yeah.
items. If it doesn't ring up, you have to go to the customer service counter to get the discount. It's like a whole, I don't know.
yeah, you can't do the self-checkout with a sale item. You have to go through a person
Ugh.
because for some reason it's not in their system. I don't know why, but
It's so weird.
yeah, so, but now I'm all worried that, like, there's cameras and everything, and I don't care if they see me because, like,
Yeah.
I thought I did everything right. But if they don't know the story, I don't want them to think that this is like a scam that I do. Like, oh, this guy, this is how he did it. He put all the stuff in there and then he clicked cancel and then he left with the groceries.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. You got some free groceries.
I know,
No.
but I felt really horrible about it, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, and I don't want to go back in there and have the security being like, there he is, there's the guy.
There's the guy.
There's the fucking gringo that's stealing shit.
Oh my God.
Like, no.
Stealing
So
20
I don't know
bucks
what to
worth of
do.
stuff.
Like, I was trying to like talk to their corporate office, like on their website and in the
Yeah.
chat, but they were like, you have to go talk to the store for any transactions, and they're just not going to understand.
So you never got a receipt for your items.
No, I mean, there was a receipt there. I
It was
guess
the
it was
person
the person
before you.
before me that didn't take it. I just didn't notice it. So
Maybe this wasn't your fault. Maybe the people before you did something and jacked it up.
maybe. I'm just hoping that if the girl that works the self-checkout area,
Yeah.
if she saw what happened, either she just canceled it and didn't say anything because she doesn't want to get in trouble because that's
Yeah.
her fucking job to make sure that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Or I hope she's gone to customer service and been like, hey, he got charged and then it refund. Like, can you just cancel the refund? So I guess we'll
Yeah.
see in a couple days when it goes through.
maybe they'll, once they kind of tally up the day or the couple of days, whatever it is, maybe they'll go, oh, hey, we have another random, because you can't be the only one that has ever done this. Maybe we have another random pending that we need to say, yes, this was a legit purchase. We need to.
But it's pending to refund it. So
True.
they would have to cancel that refund.
True.
I don't know. I just don't want to, like,
You're
down
so
the road.
sweet.
But I also down the road don't want to be in trouble. Like, if I'm going, when we go to get our permanent residency, I don't want to have them be like, oh, well, you have a warrant out for your arrest
For 22 bucks.
or if I get stopped by the policia for whatever reason, if they're like, oh yeah, like they called and they got a picture of me right there and everything. So
I doubt they went that far.
yeah, I
just
mean, knowing how
our-
things are organized here,
knowing
yeah.
how things are here and our grocery store, how we see what goes on there. I don't know. I would maybe just take it as a sorry, and I will say they probably owe us $22 worth of stuff.
True.
Because of all the sale items that we didn't get the proper amount, or they charged me for more things and they shouldn't. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that's karma.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. So
You're sweet that you feel bad, though. I would too.
I do. Like, I felt like sick about it for, like
Oh.
all day because I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to be known as that person there or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But
So
not
I feel
sick
bad.
enough to throw your stuff back in a bag and go back over there.
Well, I didn't
Just
realize
kidding.
it till then, and then it's like, you know how that's
Yeah.
gonna go. I'm trying to explain. Well, no, so I put it in, and then I must have hit something, and I canceled it, but I got the receipt. But I mean, it just sounds like a fucking made up story.
I bet if you took everything back and explained, they probably would just look at you and go, just go. Just get out of here.
Yeah,
Like, you're
probably.
fine. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no way for us to re-ring these items up. They're already the SKU codes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're already gone. They're already out of our system.
Yeah,
so.
and it wasn't like I could even go and grab other things that were like the same exact thing because some of the stuff was like meat or something that was like weight, so
Yeah.
it was like a specific amount of money. It wasn't like it's $5 or whatever,
Well,
So
the universe appreciates you feeling bad, but
I
I think
hope
it's
so.
okay. I'm sure you're not the only
I'll
one.
tip the bag ladies real good next time.
There you go. Pesos for everyone.
Yeah. All right. So this is gonna be a quick story, but this today I learned about my parents.
Oh, great.
This is a story from when they first came down here, and then also last year, and then another time when we were there in Iowa and trying to get back to the airport.
Yes.
For some reason, my parents do not think that there is an Uber out at maybe 4 in the morning or whatever. Like, so they usually take their flight down here.
Yeah.
It leaves pretty early because they have to have a layover somewhere, and then they fly to Cancun. So
You guys always find the earliest flights. Like, all right, flight's at 5:30 a.m. We got to be rolling out by 2:30. I'm like,
that's what you do though, because you don't want to get there in the evening because normally if you have a hotel or something, check-in is at a certain time. You don't want to waste, get there at midnight and you're like, why did I even have to pay for the $100 plus a night room when I'm just sleeping here for 2 hours or something?
True.
So anyway, so they last year, same thing. They were like, oh, like how should we get to the airport? I was like, go take an Uber,
Yeah.
get up in the morning, call an Uber, and take it down there. And they live in Des Moines, Iowa. It's not a small city. I
Right.
mean, it's a couple 100,000 people.
Right.
So they have Ubers. I don't know why they think they're not Ubers out
I
there.
think they're worried that there's not going to be an Uber that early in the morning in Ankeny. So if they're staying at like their house in a suburb, maybe there's not going to be that many there. If they were staying at the downtown like townhouse in Des Moines, that might be a better option. But I could see them like how you'd be a little bit worried in kind of a little more remote suburb, even though it really isn't remote.
No, it's not remote. It's not really, I mean, it's a suburb, but it's not like when we first moved there, it was like 25, 30,000 people. It's
Yeah.
80 some thousand people now. And there's a community college there
True.
and there's high school kids and there's people that are just working. And it's like people, this is some people's jobs.
Yeah.
Like that's what they do is they drive Uber.
True, true.
They're out there. And to my point, the last time we were coming back and we had a very early flight,
Yeah.
I woke up the night before at the time we were supposed to leave to look at the Uber app and
Yeah.
see who was around, and there were plenty of Ubers.
Okay.
And then this year when we were talking about the same thing, I did the same thing for them. I woke up early the night before and I looked at 4 a.m. There were plenty of Ubers around there.
Okay.
They're out there. I don't know why like older people think that they're not available at all times. And okay, let's take Ubers away.
Yeah.
Taxis. There's fucking taxis. Like
Yeah.
taxis still exist, even in Iowa. Like they're out there.
The boomer generation, they don't trust the technology. They're like, my mom does the same thing. I want to call and talk to someone. Your dad does it too. Make sure somebody's on it. Because your dad was saying, just what happens if they bail on us in the morning?
They call another one.
Call another Uber.
Yeah.
Call a neighbor. Call your other son. Call your friend. Call anybody.
Well, this is why I'm saying this, because last year when they decided to go against our advice and
Yeah.
take an Uber,
Against our wishes.
they drove their car down there
Yes.
and parked in the short-term lot.
by accident.
And by accident, regardless. And there was a snowstorm and nobody could go pick up the car for a week.
Yeah.
And their parking bill was like $350.
I think it was like $600.
Oh, really?
Because the whole time they stayed here, your dad kept going. He's like, yeah, it was only $200-$300. It was like $400. Well, it ended up being like $500-$600.
They could have shipped their car down here for that much.
Could have bought a new
Jesus.
car.
Yeah, seriously. But for it would have been a $20-$30 Uber ride, and then you're paying $600 because you wouldn't listen to us.
Yeah.
And then the same thing the following or this year, they didn't want to take our advice again and had one of their friends drive them down.
Oh,
So
I was like, how'd they get here?
and I know
Get there
he's
then?
retired or whatever, but they still had to wake up at 3 a.m. So like,
Yeah.
don't do that to your friend. Those days are over. You shouldn't have your friends driving you at 3-4 in the morning.
Especially in the morning when it's all cold and snowy. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but anybody out there that's a little older, just let you know, Ubers are around.
Yeah,
They're out there.
You can trust them.
It's like I said, it's people's jobs. A lot of people will go to school during the day and then they work overnights, and that's their job. It's like having an overnight shift.
Yeah.
They're not going to not show up. That's they're trying to make money.
My mom feels the same way. I think when she moved to Florida, she got the same Uber driver a couple of times. It was this nice lady, and she knows another one that's a guy that'll pick her up from certain things. She just has their numbers. She doesn't even use the Uber app. She's like,
yeah.
oh, my Uber's busy, so I'm calling my other Uber. I'm like, oh, aren't you fancy?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but also if anything happens, you're really fucked.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't have insurance that just covers a random person. Uber has that insurance,
Right.
when you use the app, or if you get fucking kidnapped or something,
Yeah.
like there's no tracking of you. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I don't know,
Sketchy.
but
Don't do that, Mom.
yeah, use the Uber. It's a lot easier than bugging your friends.
Yes.
It's like hiring movers now. You don't ask your friends to move your shit for beer and pizza.
Yeah.
Those are college days.
We're not 18.
Yeah. All right. Well, so now for some Airbnb horror stories,
Ooh.
what story do you have for us today?
Oh, I have a good one. We had a couple ladies staying with us. Seemed really nice and normal. Communication up to their stay. And usually we send out a little message the next morning from their first night there, like, hey, hope you slept well. There's coffee there for you. Let us know if you need anything. And immediately these women reply and say, hey, we woke up and there's like blood on these sheets. Just blood stains, like kind of splatters. We're just like, where'd they come from? We're thinking, like,
Yeah,
what do you mean there's blood?
Did you sit on a squirrel, or is it that time of the month? What's going on, lady?
Oh my gosh. And we professionally launder all of our sheets, all of our towels, everything. Our cleaning team is the same 5 to 6 women every day. There's no newbies coming in or out that we don't know.
You know them.
We know them.
They're pros.
They are pros. They take this very seriously, like it's their own home. They're all like moms,
Right.
They're not messing around. So we're like, well, that's weird because the sheets were clean when we put them on the bed. So we're not sure what to tell you, except in Mexico, there's lots of mosquitoes. There's different, little ants, those little no-see-em, other mosquitoes, different things
Yeah.
that will bite you and you don't realize, and then you itch, and then there's a little bit of blood. So we're saying, that's probably what happened. It's probably your own blood, but don't worry, we'll bring in new sheets for you. They were adamant that this was not their blood and it was someone else's blood. I don't know how you know that, because the picture they sent us was like dried, like it would a night of little droplets of blood. It was kind of that brownish color, so it was already like,
Oh, I thought it was fresh, and that was how you guys, or was it dry?
it was dry to the next morning, but I don't know.
Because I thought Tom was like, if it was there from before, then it would have, it could have
That's
been
right.
somebody else, but it was fresh. So it's like, how
The
is there
color.
fresh blood on your sheets?
Yeah, the picture we were like, that's not old blood. That's like new
Yeah,
blood.
that's what it was. It was more red than that brown color.
Right.
I think that's what it was.
That's what we could tell. I'm not a blood expert, apparently.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I guess we got to rewatch Dexter.
Yeah. So we go through, back and forth, and we like to take the higher road. Not a big deal. We'll bring in some new sheets. It's not a big deal. So we do that, bring them in new sheets, and then they're there for like 4 or 5 days, I think. once they check out, they had a great time. We love you guys. We love the place. We had so much fun in Tulum. We were going to go to Cancun, but we decided to stay longer in Tulum, extend our trip. We're like, okay, great. That, everything's good. Our cleaning team goes in there to clean the house. There is more blood on the sheets from the original. These weren't the other bloody sheets. So there's more blood splatters on the sheets, and the towels are like destroyed, like with makeup and maybe blood and something else. So me being me, I want to be like, hey, what the fuck?
Butthole.
You were complaining the whole time about, shit and stains and whatever on the thing. And then you come back and you do the same thing to them and then just leave them and don't say anything. And each of our homes has a washer and dryer. So if you were worried, oh my gosh, they're going to think we got blood on the sheets now, wouldn't you at least like wash them? Or I don't know. So we didn't push to charge them for the other stuff, which I wish we would have, but we just let it go. But how do you do that? Like I think they were lying from the beginning then, right?
Yeah, because how did they not notice the blood on the sheets if it was there before they moved in?
We asked them that, and they were like, we were so tired from our day of travel, and then we had some drinks at night, and we just climbed into bed. I'm looking, as soon as I stay somewhere, I look at the pillow, I open the sheets to make sure there's nothing on them, and then I go to bed. You're not just like some random bed and not like check it out.
Yeah, that's
right.
I mean, I guess you possibly could do that,
Sure.
but wait, where was it at? Like, where was the blood at? Was it like by the head of the
like-
bed or on the pillow or by the foot?
I think it was kind of like where your arm would be or your side, like the
Okay.
middle of where someone would be sleeping. Not
Okay.
like lower and not higher or anything.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because it seems like a lot of times when there is blood on a bed, it's maybe you have like a mosquito bite by your calf or your ankle, and you scratch that.
Yeah.
Or it could be like on your shoulder or on your
Yeah.
arm, or you
back.
get a cut and then you scratch it or something.
Exactly.
I mean that makes more sense. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're lying because like how would you not if it was that bad where you noticed it?
Yeah.
Like I feel like they're trying to say something so they don't get charged for it. So they're like, oh my God, there was blood on here. But it's like, but you didn't notice the first day or two or whatever. Like,
exactly.
Come on.
We were like, all right,
Lies.
we're just gonna. You're lucky we're in a good mood today. We're just
Right.
gonna let it slide. But that's weird. I never thought of something like that too. I mean, good for them for making us aware that there was blood on the sheets and you don't think it was yours. But then why not say something? Oh, hey, I'm sorry we didn't get to wash the sheets and the towels that we got makeup and whatever all over.
Yeah.
Like it just seems really rude.
Gross.
Very gross. Yeah,
All right,
those
well,
are gone. All those sheets and towels are gone.
Yeah. So be honest with your Airbnb host. That's rude.
Yeah,
It's rude. It's somebody's house.
We appreciate when we have a lot of, I would say 95% of our guests are very forthcoming. Hey, we were drinking wine and cheers and it broke. No big deal. That's the cost of doing business, or a little chip on a plate. Or we've even had the coffee pot, like the carafe, broken before. Little things like that. But if you let us know, cool. No big deal. You're being honest.
All good.
It's when people are like putting things back and hiding things that seems sketch to me.
Yeah.
Sketchy. Don't be
Gross.
a sketchy Airbnb guest.
Yeah. Bastard. 0 stars.
0 stars.
0 stars.
I don't think that's an option.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this is airing Friday. We're gonna record our other episodes this Sunday.
Mhm.
So, if anybody has any questions for me before the Super Bowl, about how it works, where we stay, the rehearsals, anything like that, I'm gonna put this on Spotify as like a question, or you can shoot us a message on Instagram, or comment on this video on YouTube as well.
Yep.
And I'll try to get to them in that episode that we're going to record the day before I leave. So,
Very cool.
so if you got those questions, shoot them over. Otherwise, I will talk about all the Super Bowl stuff in episode 101 when we get back.
So exciting.
Yeah, but
So
again,
exciting.
there'll still be a new episode next Friday and the Friday after that, and everything. They're all going to be new.
Yep.
Just letting you know, I won't be able to talk about the Super Bowl till I get back.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Very hush hush.
yeah, exactly. So don't forget to support the podcast. Buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers if you just want to support us and you like what we're doing and you appreciate the information and the stories and stuff. You want to throw a beer or two our way.
Yeah.
Hansonsonhiatus.com if you don't mind sharing with your friends and family if you think they'd be interested, if they're coming to Mexico soon and they need some advice or tips or anything. And you can become a fucky supporter. You can be a small fucky or a little fucky. I'm sorry.
Little fucky.
Well, maybe we should add a small for $1.50.
Yeah.
You can be a little fucky for $1. You can be a medium fucky for $5. You can be a big old fucky for $10.
Yep.
So, and also the merch store up there at hansonsonhiatus.com. We got some new shirts and t-shirts and different designs, and you can put it on a coffee cup or whatever the fuck you want.
You can put the designs on everything. Magnets, stickers, mugs, pillows, tote bags, all of it.
Everything. And like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.